the game was always coming back to us. My name is Rich Latta. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the national media finally arriving at where much of us smart people were at least a year ago. So I came across a clip on First Take with Chiney Ogwumike, L. Duncan, who seemed like she was in shock at a lot of the sentiments that were going down here, and Stephen A. Smith. And it was a really unfamiliar kind of video because for much of the last year, the combination of two of those three, at a given time, were always, very heavily downplaying Caitlin Clark and her effect on the league. And I don't know if the information just became so backbreaking at this point where they had to finally give in, or are they trying to, say they were with it the whole time, but, they just couldn't, do whatever, or could they just realize that they no longer could lie to people, as one of my friends suggested. I thought when I heard this, and I'm going to play it for you guys here as well, it feels like it's a shift in how Caitlin Clark is going to be covered going forward, because Caitlin hasn't changed. Like, she hasn't even played since the end of the season. It's going to be very interesting to see, who comes out of the woodworks in support, who does not, who is kicking and screaming still, taking the side swipes as they were throughout the season. So without further ado, let's play this clip, and I'm going to stop it, as I get any thoughts, reaction format style. So yeah, let's take a look. All right, here you go. And you can see my tweet right here. Nice to see the national media catching up to where a lot of us were early last summer. So let's see what they had to say.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor.
This is crazy. Not only is she saying it with emphasis, she's saying it with the back straight, essentially, sitting up high, letting people know what it is. This is quite a shock from last year. All we need is Andrea Carter on here now.
History, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also
back-breaking excellence.
So for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was #1. And most importantly, I think people look at this and think she said no. That's not the case. She said she wants her first competition to be an Indy at WNBA All-Star, which to me is huge. People don't see the numbers.
So, Elle out there looking dead serious right there, looking like she has to begrudgingly agree. We should talk about that. Caitlin Clark deciding she was not going to do the NBA All-Star Weekend. I kind of made one video out before the official story dropped earlier on the channel. But looking at the reasoning for it, man, I don't think they can ever say Caitlin Clark is not putting on for the WNBA, that she doesn't care about the league. I remember people last year were very upset at her for not doing the WNBA All-Star one, and I presumed that she would do it at the quote-unquote bigger stage. But in Caitlin's eyes, the way it looks, the WNBA is actually the big stage. And honestly, I can't argue with her. I'm not looking forward to the NBA All-Star Weekend at all. So Caitlin Clark would have been the highlight for me and many others. But she's using, that motion, as we like to say, to bring the attention not only to her, but the league itself. And, at this point, people are going to have to just get down or lay down. They're running out of ways, running out of directions to turn if they do not want to appreciate not only her as a player, but her as a entity, as a force, a positive force for the league. There's only going to be so long about crying about a fan base. There's only going to be so long they can, just hide awards from her or not promote her properly on social media. That stuff's going to be out of here relatively soon, and it never really should have been a thing, but it does feel nice to see, common sense eventually prevail.
Below, like the economic impact, 36 million she drove to Indianapolis just by showing up as a rookie and making history. And so I understand her point of view. She wants to probably let other athletes shine. And she gets what she also says, like, it's like earned, not given. There are previous winners that should have an opportunity to probably compete. Alicia Gray is the reigning WNBA three-point contest champion, the same way that Sabrina Ionescu entered the competition after winning in 2023. There are other people that can use that spotlight to compete as well.
Unfortunately, they weren't like looking to bring someone like Alicia Gray, who's an awesome player in her own right, for her winning the shootout. Like that's not why she would be there. The star power is why Caitlin Clark would be there, because they would have to completely remake the event almost in her image. Yeah. And Stephen A has this look on his face. You have no idea where Stephen A is going to go right now.
So I think Caitlin, she moves because she knows people follow her no matter where she goes, and she's very strategic about dictating where her value is.
I'm detecting you don't agree, Stephen A.
Tried to set up the hate right there. I don't know if y'all caught that or not.
You're detecting wrong. I do agree with her.
Okay.
I am just disappointed in some of the points she negated to bring up. So I'm going to bring them up.
Perfect.
Okay?
All right.
First of all, touching on the points that you brought up, let's throw out some numbers here, okay? When you're talking about the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game on ABC, it was
an absolute classic, by the way. The women's All-Star Game was everything I've been wanting the NBA All-Star Game to be. And who was there? The leading vote getter. CC22.
watched by an average audience of 3.4 million viewers, making it the largest audience ever for a WNBA All-Star Game. That's number one. Number two, the 2024 NBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis drew a disappointing rating. They were averaging about 5.5 million viewers across TNT, TBS, and other places. The figure marked the second lowest in history, trailing only the previous year. Okay? So that's what the state of the NBA is. The other point to be made, that three-point contest between Ionescu and Steph Curry had peak viewership of 5.4 million from 10 to 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And, you know, if that viewership was like that last year, what do you think it would be with Caitlin Clark? Common sense.
The event was the most watched NBA All-Star Saturday night in 4 years. Why do I bring all of that up? I totally applaud what Caitlin Clark is doing. She's putting the WNBA first. She's saying, yo, we matter first to me. We should matter first to the ladies. I'll make an argument. Considering the lackluster effort the NBA players have been given during All-Star Weekend, they should matter more, period. It's a travesty what has happened to the NBA.
Chiney is in disbelief that Stephen A is agreeing with her this much.
I'm going to say this, L, and I've said this before. You may not have seen me say it. I know Chiney has seen me say it.
L has a look like she can't really hop in and disagree.
These guys play harder in summertime when they're working out than they play at All-Star Weekend. How inexcusable is that?
You know, a lot of people say,
Isn't it crazy? The way that, you know, the arc is bending towards, you know, correct opinion, correct thought on this. I don't know if you guys, you know, saw that stuff, but I found that very interesting when I came across it. I thought it is going to be a sign of things to come. And they're not going to get everything right. I'm not going to get everything right. But I think it is important to adhere to reality as much as possible. And for far too much of last year, it was just a different reality that I think caused a lot of the, you know, clash between, you know, Caitlin Clark fans and the sports media itself, who just continue to wildly whiff and just miss exactly what was happening and why it was special. We needed additional voices to contextualize this stuff. Anyway, my name is Rich Latta. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.